Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my week in bags. I'm Anesu Sagonda and I produce educational luxury content for anyone after the finer things, whether you're new to money and wanting to learn how to navigate the terrain, or you're young and starting out in life and wanting to reap the benefits of buying better quality from the get-go, or you're into luxury but you want to focus more on high quality, under the radar brands, then my content is geared towards you. I'm going to create 2, possibly 3 episodes of my week in bags during the course of the year as a way of talking about my own personal collection of bags, which I've been asked about on numerous occasions, as well as bags that I've agreed to be gifted. And I'll talk about the wear and tear, functionality, what I like and don't like. In this video, I have 5 bags I'm going to talk about. I attended 3 meetings during the course of the week. 2 were in London, 1 continental Europe. I flew out first thing in the morning, came back in the evening. And then the other 2 bags I carried out socially, 1 date night, and then the other one out to a music event in a small music venue, legendary music venue in London called Ronnie Scott's. The first bag I'm going to talk about is the Sesia bag from Loro Piana, and I have it in the medium size in a rich, deep navy blue color. I've actually spoken about the Sesia bag on this channel about 3 years ago. I'm going to attach the video above. And it took me a good year after the video went live to be able to find the exact shade of navy blue that I wanted. With age, I don't like black bags anymore, and I just don't find them attractive. I don't buy black bags, but I do have a good number of black bags from the past, which I still use on occasion, and I'm sure they'll feature 1 or 2 in future videos. But I specifically wanted a smart, formal bag, typically for meetings. I wanted something that was chic. I wanted something that looked expensive, something that really looked the part and would complete my outfit really well. And so I strategically chose the Sesia. But it took a good year, as I mentioned, to find the exact shade of navy blue that I wanted. And what I really like about the bag is the fact that it really looks the part. It looks expensive. Whenever I carry it, I have noticed people will look at it, and sometimes people will come over and ask, oh, where is it from, for example. But I find it is more of a mature bag. I rarely ever see younger people carrying the bag. Whenever I've looked at the Sesia in the Loro Piana store, it's always the more mature consumers, my age, late 40s and above. And when we start a conversation, typically if you're looking at it, someone else will join in and say, oh, I like it, what do you think about it? And I've noticed quite a few people have more than 1 Sesia, possibly different sizes, but different colors certainly, because it's a bag that really works. It looks the part, it looks expensive without being incredibly expensive. I also like the fact that it's an incredibly well-made bag by a brand that's not primarily focused on leather goods. Loro Piana is known for their cashmere, which they do incredibly well. They are trailblazers. They have set the benchmark when it comes to the very best cashmere and their products, their knitwear and so forth. And what you'll find is a lot of brands will create products, complementing products in addition to their core product brand extensions. And sometimes they don't necessarily create brand extensions that are on the same high level as their core product. But Loro Piana have not missed a beat with their leather goods across the board. They have changed a lot of the styles. They've discontinued the Sesia, which I'm really disappointed by. And I haven't had a good look at the new bags, but the old styles which have been discontinued, the quality is absolutely amazing. The Sesia has been discontinued, as I've said, but it is still available in their outlets. You can find it online. I've seen quite a few on My Teresa and also on Net-a-Porter, I think, but I'll include some links to different colors, different sizes and so forth for you. But when it comes to a bag that's incredibly well made, exceptional quality leathers have been used, really thick, sumptuous, beautiful calf skin. And then the details, the level of finish has been done to an absolutely outstanding level. It's a bag I'm incredibly happy with, and it's literally an heirloom quality bag. I don't have any wear and tear issues with it. The same perfect condition I received it in is how it is now. I will carry the bag. It's on rotation possibly every 6 weeks, and I'll typically carry it for a week, sometimes 2 weeks at a time. The bag I start with at the beginning of the week is the bag I'll typically carry for the rest of the week. And what really stands out about the Sesia, apart from the fact that it's chic and it brings an outfit together, is just the details and how they've been executed to an incredibly high standard. I always carry the bag either in the crook of my arm, or I use one hand to carry both handles. It's a formal bag as far as I'm concerned. I will never carry it either over the shoulder or as a crossbody bag. It does come with an additional strap that's adjustable and detachable, but I just personally would never use it because it's just a smart bag for me. But I like the belt, how well made it is. I like the way they've cut the holes, the shape. I also like the fact that there's a very subtle detail of the light edge coating on the inside, a very clean, neat hole. I also like how you attach it to the bag. Very discreet, tucked away hardware, and it gives the impression that the belt is actually attached to the bag. I also like the storage unit that they've provided. There is a pillow, a covered pillow, and they've used a linen cloth, and it's the exact size of the bag. And so when you're not using it, you place the cushion back in the bag, and that helps to maintain the structure and the shape of the bag. And the fact that they've paid attention to that level of detail, that it's not only in the look of the bag, how it's been made and how well finished it is, but also they've considered storage, which impacts the wear and tear of the bag, which I really admire, and I would expect from a brand like Loro Piana. What I also like is the fact that it has the most sumptuous suede lining on the inside. But on one side, you have a zipped leather pocket, and then on the other side, you have a slip leather pocket. So there's quite a bit of storage if you need to zip things away or keep things in a compartment. But I also like the fact that they've included a pouch with the bag. I used to travel with the Loro Piana Sesia bag, but now I have a different travel bag I'll talk about in this video as well. But whenever I would travel, what I would do is I'd place money, maybe jewelry, my passport in the pouch. It's a good enough size to take all of that, even credit cards, zip them up, place them in the bottom of the bag, and then place other things on top of that, so the pouch would stay securely in place. And it's been absolutely perfect in that regard, and it's a pouch I really use and appreciate. Even if I'm not using the Sesia, I sometimes do use the pouch with other bags. I also like the fact that the branding is incredibly discreet. Loro Piana embossed on the inside of the bag, and then also on the outer side, on the opposing side, you have very tiny Loro Piana emblem on the bag. So the focus is solely on the exceptional quality of the leathers, the craft, the details, the design. They don't want to take away from that. They want you to just focus on the design, the leathers, which are absolutely exquisite. Very little wear and tear, as I've said. The only issues I have with the bag, and I bought it with very gentle scuffing on the underside of the legs. And that happened in store, the shelf, people moving it about. And I remember they mentioned this before I paid for the bag, and I was happy with it because the rest of the bag is perfect. It's still perfect. And I honestly don't ever think I will have any issues with this bag. And if I did, I'm confident Loro Piana would rectify them. The second bag is the Sun Tote from Spanish brand La Portegna. It's a bag I was gifted about 4 months ago by the brand, and it's a brand I really like. I have been asked by a number of you to talk about La Portegna, and I've taken the last couple of years to get to know the brand. I have a product from them which I've been trying out for a number of years, and I really like. And so by the time I went to see La Portegna in Madrid, I was convinced I was literally just going to dot the I's and cross the T's. And the owner of the brand, Jose, when I said I like your brand, and he said, "Oh, would you like a bag?" I thought, oh, I was a little hesitant. But after we spoke at length, I was like, yes, I like this brand. I want to talk about it. And I chose the Sun Tote. And why I chose it is, firstly, the khaki green color. I'm going through a khaki green phase. I can only see khaki green bags. I don't see any other color. And so firstly, the color jumped out at me. But I really like the design. A very simple design. They've mixed two different khaki greens, different shades of khaki green. But it's a very simple design that's incredibly elegant. I think the Sun Tote, which I chose to carry my laptop, books and paperwork for meetings, the khaki color complements the Sesia, and I typically carry them together when I'm going to meetings. I think the colors complement each other. They're classic colors, they're versatile, they are mature colors. I also like the fact that the sun tote is a poised tote, a structured shape that maintains its structure very well. It has feet on the underside of the bag, so whenever I take it to meetings, I typically will place it on a bag and it just sits upright and the sides don't flop over. I really like that. It looks smart. And then I crisscross the handles on top of each other, and it's a wonderful tote. I really like it. I like the brand, and I'll talk about it in detail together with Jose in the next few weeks. The tote is made from a fairly thick, sumptuous cowhide on the outside. Inside is lined using suede. It has a leather slip pocket on the inside, and then it's just one big cavernous compartment with a little magnetic component on the top of the bag. What I also like, and it actually really makes a difference and would make me actually recommend the tote even more, is the fact that the straps are thick. The leather is thick, it's sumptuous, it's padded. The width of each strap is about 2 centimeters. The typical tote, think for example Goyam, for example, Moreau I've spoken about, their straps are about 1.5 centimeters in width. But Moreau is quite thick. The La Portegna one is fairly thick. It's fairly padded. And even if it's fairly heavy, which my totes typically are not, it's got to be a comfortable enough weight. When I place it on my shoulder, whether I'm holding it, the 2 straps in my hand, they're still very comfortable because the straps are 2 centimeters, they're thick. Placed on my shoulder, the weight is spread across a much wider surface. It's a lot more comfortable, and then throw into it. The leather is padded, it's very well padded, so it makes the tote very comfortable on your shoulder. So it's 2 bags that work incredibly well for meetings. I really like them, and I don't actually see myself changing my work bag anytime soon or my tote. The 2 work incredibly well, and I look forward to talking more about the brand. I'm going to include down below a discount code if you would like to buy the tote, but I am going to talk about the brand in detail soon. The third bag is the Market tote in the small size from British brand Métier. Métier was the other brand that was featured in the Loro Piana video I attached earlier on. But in that video I spoke about the Perriand, whereas in this video I'm going to talk about the Market tote, which is a newer bag for the brand. And the Market tote I have been stalking. Every time I'm around Mount Street area, I'll pop into the Métier boutique just to see what colors they have in stock. The Market tote comes in a number of limited colors every season. And the first time I saw the bag about 14 months ago, there wasn't a color I liked, but I liked the style. I was open to a different color. I liked the style, but it all very much depended on the color. And then about 6 months ago, I saw the small Market tote in the Marrakesh color. And I specifically wanted the suede. I like Métier's suede. It's thick, it's robust, it's like really fleshy suede. And I like the Marrakesh color. It's not too light a color where you pick up on marks and so forth, but it's not a dark color. I'm all for color at the moment. But what actually sealed the deal and made me pull the trigger was the fact that I discovered there are 2 secret compartments in the Market tote. I was never in the market for a travel bag. A year or 2 ago, I created a short, which I'm going to attach above, and I spoke about the 7 types of handbags you should have depending on your lifestyle. And I never for a second thought I would include a travel bag, but I travel a lot, professionally and socially. And the Market tote has 2 secret compartments underneath the bag. They're tucked away, zipped compartments, fairly robust zip. And I feel so good traveling with that bag, and I only ever travel with that bag now, short haul and long haul. I have watched too many travel programs where going through the x-ray machine and you go through the x-ray and your bag follows and somebody dips their fingers into your bag, or you're on a flight, you're asleep, or you pop off to the loo and somebody sticks their fingers into your bag. And I've seen too many horror stories like that. And I've always felt anxious traveling, particularly if I'm on my own, which is rare. But I wanted something secure, and the Market tote is the ideal travel bag. I think it's incredibly stylish. I like the aesthetic. I like the slouchy element. I like the leather. I like the color. I like the size of the bag, the capacity. It's the small, but the capacity is really good. I do not carry a lot of things in my bag. I will only ever place exactly what I need. And typically it'll be sunglasses, a card holder, my phone, a vanity case, lipstick, and a small set of keys. If I'm traveling, throw into that money, my jewelry, and passport. So my bags are not going to get wear and tear in terms of being laden with a lot of things in them. I take exactly what I need and no excess. With the market tote, I like the capacity in the small size. I like the fact that the zip is not sewn to the end of the bag. There are gaps in between both sides of the bag. I like those gaps because I usually place a small bottle of water in one of those gaps whenever I'm traveling. I like the actual capacity. The space is more than enough for myself. But what I really like, as well as the aesthetic and the color, is the fact that on one side of the bag, there is a leather slip pocket lined using Alcantara, which is incredibly robust and it's easy to clean. And then on the other side, there is a pouch that you clip in, and the clips are fairly robust. They don't pop out easily. You actually need to make the effort to pull them out. So the pouch is securely in place. The bag does come with a strap, and you can attach that strap to the pouch. And I particularly like the pouch and the strap because when I'm traveling, there are places I've been to and I haven't been comfortable leaving my passport and cash, ID and so forth in the safe. And I've literally placed them in the pouch, attached the strap, and then I've worn it literally as a body bag and placed a jacket or a top or a shirt on top. And it sits very comfortably and snugly against my body, and I feel incredibly secure. On one occasion I did that on a flight. I was flying alone, long haul. I popped to the loo and I just thought, you know what, just take the pouch, and everything was in that pouch. But there's actually another secret compartment to the bag. On the underside of the bag, both sides of the bag, zipped compartments. The capacity, I would say, is about 6 to 7 centimeters. It's enough to place cash. I've placed cash, I've placed jewelry on the other side, and I've also placed my passport in there. They fit very snugly in there. And when I'm traveling alone, I like putting all of my valuables in there and then going through passport control, because I know there's no way anyone will be able to steal. I mean, what are the chances of someone being able to dip their fingers into the bag in full view of everyone? You'd need to turn the bag upside down. You'd need to know the pouches are there and then to unzip them. And the zips are not free flowing. They are fairly robust zips. So those compartments are incredibly secure. It ticks every single box. I really like it. And I've had it for 6 months. I'm enjoying it. I travel with it all the time. Métier do offer a spa service. I don't know if I'll ever take them up on it because I really would like the suede to just age beautifully. Whatever marks, scarves, stains occur during the life of the bag, I will enjoy and relish and just remember the memories. But I really like the bag. I like the straps. They're thick, they're comfortable. I carry the bag typically over my shoulder when I'm traveling. And I like the fact, as I mentioned earlier, that I can place a water bottle in the bag. So that is now my travel bag. I travel with each and every single time I travel. And then when I get to the other side, I will typically change and decamp into a smaller bag, but that is my travel bag. The last 2 bags are the bags I carried out socially. Both of the bags are from Miu Miu. They're clutches. The majority of my clutches are from Miu Miu. And I recently spoke about Miu Miu. I'm going to attach the video above. And I have been fanatical about Miu Miu for many, many years. I bought my first Miu Miu bag about 25 years ago. But I noticed from between 25 years to the last 15 years, the quality, the craftsmanship was absolutely outstanding. But from about 15 years ago to date, I've noticed a steady decline in the quality of the leathers and the craftsmanship, more so the quality of the leathers. I particularly like their signature Matelassi design, and I've noticed the newer Matelassis, the leather splits very easily. I've seen bags in store before they've even been sold, and you can see very subtle tearing to the leather. Whereas the Matelassi I carried, the first one, date night, I first saw it over 15 years ago. It was also in the orange color. If I'd known what I know now, I would have bought the orange as well as the purple. The Matelassi is in pristine condition. There aren't any tears, scuffs, or marks. Even on the inside, it is in absolutely perfect condition. I also like the ornate handle stroke strap, and I like the length because it means if I carry the bag over my shoulder, it sits snugly just under my arm. I like that. It's a really nice shape. I like the drop and the chain. And it's a bag I bring out from time to time, and I enjoy, and I see myself enjoying for many, many years to come. And then the second is the Miu Miu clutch that I carried to the indoor concert, a small intimate concert in London. It's the gold sequined Miu Miu clutch. First bought it in the green and didn't warm up to the green, and then changed to the gold. I like the gold. It's eye-catching. It's a fun evening bag. You can wear either to dinner, to a party. It's versatile. I like the mixing of the gold and the silver. But it's a bag I carry a lot more sparingly than even the Matalassi, because the gold is starting to fade, the gold color, where there are pressure points around the corners, for example. And I'd still like to get many more years worth of wear from the bag. So I do carry it a little more sparingly. And I'll typically, when I go out, carry it using the top handle as well as with the strap over the shoulder or as a crossbody, typically at a concert whilst dancing. That is how I would carry it. So that's my weekend bags. A fairly diverse selection of bags. Do any of my viewers have any of those bags? As always, let me know. Any thoughts, any questions, let me know down below.